Hello everyone, thank you for watching this video. My name is Irma Fauzia, a student at the Faculty of Law at the University of August 17, 1945, Surabaya. In this article, I will discuss the Constitution of the Kingdom of Norway, promulgated on May 17, 1814. This constitution is one of the oldest constitutions still in effect in the world. I will focus on three main points that are highly relevant of the constitution law course. A. Form of government. B. Executive power, the king and the royal family and religion. C. Citizen right and legislative power. After that, I will provide a conclusion and a comparison with Indonesia 1945 Constitution. Let's begin. Norway is a Scandinavian country known for its high standard of living, welfare state, oil wealth, and top ranking in World Democracy and Happiness Index. The Norwegian Constitution was born on May 17, 1814. In its fall as Norway sought independence from Denmark. Although it has undergone numerous amendments, the spirit of the Constitution remained intact. Influenced by the American and French Revolution, it maintains a limited monarchy. Point A. Form of government. According to Article 1 of the Norwegian Constitution, the Kingdom of Norway is a free, independent, indivisible, and inalienable territory. Its form of government is a limited and hereditary monarchy. Article 2 affirms that Christian and humanitarian values are fundamental, while guaranteeing democracy, the rule of law, and human rights. Criticism. The hereditary form of monarchy in the modern democratic era has drawn criticism. How can a head of state be determined by heredity rather than by ability or the people's choice? Although in practice the king rule is merely ceremonial, formally there remains an element of heredity that is considered contrary to the principle of equality and popular sovereignty. However, many Norwegians still support the monarchy because it is seen as symbol of national unity and stability. Point B. Executive power. The king, the royal family, and religion. Executive power formally rests with the king. Article 3. The king has the authority to appoint the Prime Minister and the Council of State Cabinet, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, grant pardon, appoint officials, and so on. In practice, however, all these powers are exercised on the advice of the government, which is accountable to Parliament. The 13th Article 5 states, "The person of the king is sacred and cannot be criticized." The king and his heirs are required to be evangelical Lutheran Christian. Article 4. The courts of Norway remain the state courts supported by the state. Article 16. Although religious freedom is granted. Criticism. This has become one of the most controversial points. First, formally handing executive power to an unelected person contradicts the spirit of full democracy. Second, the king's religious obligation limit personal freedom of belief. Third, the existence of a state court privilege one religion. Even though Norway is increasingly secular and multicultural, this is considered inconsistent with the principle of state neutrality in religious matters in the 21st century. It can issue a motion of no confidence. Citizen rights are firmly guaranteed, especially after the major amendment that included a chapter on human rights. Criticism and positive note. This section is a case track of the Norwegian constitution. The principle of popular sovereignty and parliamentary supremacy are very clear. However, because this constitution is so old, some of its initial provisions are not very progressive and rely heavily on confession and amendment. Conclusion and comparison with Indonesia. Conclusion. The Norwegian constitution successfully combines tradition, monarchy, and Christian heritage with modern value, democracy, and human rights. Its main success lies in its flexibility through amendment and a mature political culture. Comparison with Indonesia 1945 Constitution. State from Indonesia is a fully republican unitary republic with no monarchy element. Sovereignty rests with the people and is exercised entirely through election. Executive power. In Indonesia, the president wields more real and powerful executive power than the ceremonial king of Norway. After the amendment, the president's power is further controlled by the House of Representatives (DPR) and the Constitutional Court. Citizen and legislative rights. Both countries guarantee human rights. Indonesia has a fairly comprehensive chapter on human rights. Indonesia adheres to Pancasila with its principle of belief in one almighty God, but there is no state, religion, and no specific religious obligation for the president. Norway, our lesson in institutional stability and prosperity. Meanwhile, Indonesia excels in its republican spirit, equality, and the management of complex diversity. But constitution continue to evolve to meet the need of the time. This concludes my discussion of the Norwegian Constitution. Thank you for watching.